Hare. So today we'll do chapter number 8 and shlok number 7. So if you see this particular shlok, so Prabhupada is saying this shlok is best for and most effective for the people who are grihasthas and people who are actually busy in the material life. So we'll see the shloka and the translation. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmaran yuddhacha mai arpita mana buddhi mam eva eshasi samshaya asamshaya. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting with your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me. You will attain me without doubt. Anybody want to read the shloka and translation?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Very nice shloka. Yes, please, Mataji.
Bhagavad-gītā 8.7 Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmarayudhya cha mayyarpitamano bhuttir mame vaishyasya samshayah. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Anybody want to read the shloka and translation?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. You want to try?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Bhagavad-gītā 8.7 Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmarayudhya cha mayyarpitamano buddhir mame vaishyasya samshayah. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So we have to understand little background from the last shloka for understanding this particular shloka. So last shloka, Lord is saying, whatever state of being one remembers when he quit his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. So, whom we should remember if we want to get a good next life. So, someone thinks, or he constantly thinks of his pet dogs, cats. So next birth, he will get the life of dog or cat. So this is very clearly written, and we have seen many pastimes, like Bharat Maharaj. You may have been worshipping Lord throughout your life, but if you cannot get out of the attachment from the material life, and before passing or before death, if someone remember something, he will attain that kind of life in the next birth. So someone remember his husband, someone remember his wife or kids. So in that state, what happens? He will take the next birth. So suppose if a husband is constantly remembering his wife. So next birth, he will take his wife. So like that, it is very important that whom we should remember at the time of quitting our body. So that last slok, Lord is saying, whatever state of being one remembers, he quit his body. When he quits his body, that state he attain without fail. So Lord himself is saying that. So many people, they are so much attached to their house. They think they have such a big house, and with such a difficulty they have made such a big house. And what happened if his karma is also not good? Then what will happen? His karma is so bad that he will not even get a human life or human body in next life. So what happened in that case? In the same house, he will get a birth, but a birth of, rat, cockroach in that house. So it is such a ill fate, right? So it is very important that we remember Krishna all the time. And then only what happens, if we remember Krishna all the time, then we'll go back to Krishna Dham. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that is the best state, right? One should remember Krishna, it is very important. So actually now you will say, then what is the problem? Uh, throughout, why should I, always remember, worship Krishna? Let's do one thing. When my time is near, when I am about to leave my body, that time I may actually start focusing on Krishna. I remember him, I chant him and do. So, but the thing is that is not easy. So there are reasons, right? It is not so easy that at the end I will remember Krishna. And in that case, anyway, it is written that during your last breath, whoever you remembers, you will go back to that state. So there is a shloka where Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu, in this we are saying, you should always remember. So Krishna is saying you should always think of my form, right? So this another shloka where it is saying ki Antakale Samaran Bhavam. So this shloka, it says Yam Yam Va Api Samaran Bhavam Tayajati Ante Kale Varam Tvam Tam Eva Eti Konteya Sada Tat Bhava Bhavita. So whatever state of being one remember, then he quits his body. When he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without any fail. So, but it is not that easy that you enjoy your complete life. You do all kind of material and enjoyment and then think at the end, I will say Harinam. And also there are cases like someone will say, I'm not able to remember Krishna or Krishna's Leela or glories. In some way, say, see, I'm so much busy that I'm all the time in the office. I have my business. So how I do actually, how I can remember Krishna's name all the time or his glories, or how I can do kirtan. So even then, what Srila Prabhupada is saying, if you are not able to do that also, you at least do Harinam, right? That is why in the beginning we discussed that what Srila Prabhupada is saying, it is best, this shloka is best for the Grihastha people. So he can at least chant, right? So normally what happens is Grihastha people they are very busy. Busy in what? They are busy in earning money and name and fame. So even then, Srila Prabhupada is saying Lord has prescribed protection to us. So at least we can do regular Harinam chanting, right? Even if we are thinking we are not able to follow all those, bhajan, kirtan and offerings, at least you start, at least you do regular Harinam chanting. So it becomes a actually very big production. So until we actually do it, we'll not realize this thing. So we start actually doing Harinam chanting at least. If you are not able to, or if you are think you are getting so many reasons of not actually remembering Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada is also mentioning in this purport that the Lord is not saying that you actually reject all your work and duties. So what happens actually generally since our mind is not pure, that is why we are not able to remember Krishna all the time. But at least we can do the mantra. So the powerful mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So that is the most powerful mantra and so easy actually. We don't have to do any effort to actually learn or understand this. It's a very simple mantra. So what Srila Prabhupada is saying, generally what is the obstruction basically that we get, why we are not able to remember Krishna? The only reason is our mind is not pure. That is why we are not able to remember Krishna all the time. So when we do this mantra, Hare Krishna mantra, so automatically after some time what happens? Your mind and soul, you will see it is slowly transformed into his remembrance. So what that also means that Lord Seva actually start from tongue. So at least you engage your one sense object when you start chanting Lord. So this sense object is your tongue here, right? Also we see that when we take prasadam, that is also from the tongue. So Srila Prabhupada says by chanting, one will attain Krishna Dham, and there is no doubt about it. So along with that, we also, so without offering food to Krishna also, at least, if you are not able to offer anything, at least you offer food, like especially the grains, right? Without, let's say, you are not offering water or fruits also, that is also fine. But whenever you are consuming grains, you must offer to Lord, and then you should actually consume. So Krishna's service, basically or Krishna's seva, it actually start from the tongue. So actually there is a very small book which is called as First Step to Krishna Consciousness. This book is hardly 25 or 30 rupees book. And it talks about like how you can offer bhogas and other Vaishnava rules. So anybody actually can afford to buy this particular small book, which is called as First Step in Krishna Consciousness. And it generally talks about how actually you can offer bhoga before you take this prasad. So we see that this material body is the actual culprit. Culprit for what? For all our pain. So that is the whole reason why we should actually take the shelter. Now, in Bhagavatam also, if you see, Parikshit Maharaj, he asked Sukdev Goswami, in every era of human life, whom he should actually listen and what he should chant, whom he should remember all the time, and whom he or she should serve. And in reply to that, Shukdev Goswami says, ki one who want to get freed from all kind of problems should chant and talk only about Sri Krishna. And he is the controller. He is the controller of all, and he will actually give relief. He will relieve you from all kind of trouble. So this proves that whatever we do, whatever activity we do, if ultimate path actually goes to remembrance of Sri Krishna, then that is the correct path. So what it means, let's say we'll take an example like Gresta may say ki I am doing some particular work, then how I can actually remember Krishna. So in that context, we'll take an example like if somebody is learning driving. So now you might have realized when you are a beginner, so you want to learn how to drive a car. So in the beginning, what happens? Your complete focus and consciousness, you are so much conscious. So you're all the time scared ki if you're not focused, you may make some kind of accident. So all the time your focus is on the steering or brake, accelerator. So it is very difficult to remember, especially you cannot remember Lord's name. So, but what happens gradually when it becomes a habit? So driving become a habit. So what happens? You can actually do something else as well as you can drive the car. Right? You don't need that kind of focus. So the whole point of saying here is that every activity in the material life, at one point of time, you become a master of it, right? It is become so habitual. So you don't have to actually give too much concentration. And at the same time, you can do that work and you actually can remember Krishna. Same like that, Matajis, when they cook prasadam or they go to kitchen do some work, they can always chant, they can always chant some bhajan kirtan and cook, right? So that doesn't require so much of focus because it becomes so much of a habit that you can do this kind of parallel activities. So that way, what happens is what Srila Prabhupada is saying, ki the ultimate path, whatever we are doing, actually, if it goes towards the remembrance of Krishna, then it is the correct path. So this is also one way to confirm actually yourself that whether I am doing some particular work and if that is correct or not. So whatever when you are doing, if you are able to remember Krishna, or you can, if not remembrance is happening due to impure mind, then at least you can chant. You can always try to remember. So now if you see, so every actually scripture is talking the same thing. So we take these two Puranas, right? So one is called as Sri Vishnu Dharmottara Purana, and there is one more Padma Purana, we all know, right? So if you see, we are just taking these two Puranas as an example where the focus is same thing, right? The focus is same thing, but what is the difference in these two Puranas? So Vishnu Dharmottara Purana, if you see, so it talks about the Hindu calendar, traditional Hindu calendar, right? And where it says that Indian climate observes or divides the year into 6 distinct seasons. what we call as ritus. And similarly, if you see Padma Purana, in Padma Purana also, if you see, there are 12 different months. It is divided into 12 different months. So in one Purana, we are saying that our Hindu calendar is divided into 6 different seasons or ritus. And in another Purana, we are saying we have 4 or 12 different names of the month. And now, so here it is describing that in all these ritus or seasons or all these months, Krishna name is chanted but with different names. So as we know that Krishna is referred by infinite names. So in this Purana also, what happens is it is recommending that, for example, this Vishnu Dharmottama Purana. So it is actually, if you see, it is categorized into 6 different ritus. So we must be knowing that. So if you see that in the English calendar, how it is different from our Hindu calendar. So English calendar, they have divided these seasons or ritus into 4, right? But in our Hindu calendar, if you see, so it is all the seasons basically are divided into 6 seasons. So what are those seasons? Basically, it starts from Vasant Ritu, what we call. So during Vasant Ritu, we should actually take the name of Madhav, right? And that means consort of Lakshmi, basically, or Lord of Sweetness. So during this Ritu or Vasant Ritu, which is also called as spring in English calendar, referred as spring. So here, so Lord, we remember in the name of Madhava. So like that, next is the Grishma Ritu, which is also called as summer. And in the summer, Lord is remembered by name of Govinda. So he is the protector of, basically Govinda means protector of cows or the earth. And then you have the Varsha Ritu. So presently we are going through that monsoon where we chant more of Vishnu's name. So like that you have Sharad Ritu, which is autumn, right? There you remember Sridhara, the bearer of Sri Lakshmi again. And then you have early winter, which is also Hemanta, one Lord of senses. There, Rishikesh. We remember Rishikesh. And then Sisira, which is also late winter, the 6th. So these are the 6 ritus where late winter we remember about Padmanabha, right? Lotus navel one, right? So like that, in Padma Purana, again there are, as we said, like 12 months are there. What are those 12 months? Like Chaitra month, which falls in March, April times, where you remember Lord Krishna as Keshav. So like that, you have Vaishakha during April, May time when you remember Madhav. Then Jeshta, where you remember Govinda, right? Then comes the Ashad Mas. So now it is somewhere Ashad Mas where you remember, as we discussed, Vishnu. Then Shravan Mas will come July, August time. Then you have Bhadrapada during August, September times where you remember Trivikram, right? So if you remember all these names, that 12 names, when we put tilaka in our body, this we chant using this 12 different names, right? Then Ashwin month is there where you remember Lord Vamana. Then Kartik month is there where you remember Sridhara. Like that, you have Marga Shirsha, then you have Posh, then you have Magha month where you remember Damodara, Lord Damodara, then Phagun month, where you remember Vasudeva. So the whole point here is all this Purana also, if you refer, they are talking about different ritus and different seasons, or they are categorized in the month. And every this season or month, Lord Krishna is remembered using different names, and if you see, every name is having so many different pastime and leelas, and through which actually earlier times people used to um, remember the pastimes and through these names. So that is how it used to be like that earlier. But now in Kali Yuga, people say they don't have time to, people don't know how many, even if you ask them how many ritus are there and what are the different months categorized, and so forget about which month what uh, name you should remember of the Lord. But in Kali Yuga, so that is the actually problem with the Kali Yuga. So more it goes, the people will deteriorate more actually. So that is why Lord has, or Prabhupada has mentioned ki, to remove all the sins, even Kali Yuga, it is the most easiest way they have given. So by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So such a easy mantra it is, and it is one of the most important and most powerful mantra also. You take any other mantra. That is why this mantra is also called as Mahamantra, right? So in the previous pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, we also see that when he was cleaning this Gundicha temple, right, with his fellow mates. So if you also remember, like now we have this Rath Yatra, right? And before that, what happens? We clean the temple, Marjanam, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually he was cleaning Gundicha temple with all his associate fellow mates. He was cleaning temples, and in the past time it was mentioned that how when they were actually cleaning the temple, they were actually communicating with other. Like say, if one want to have the vessel passed to him, or give him a pot of water in the kalash. So they never used to actually say that, "Ki, give me that pot or give me that water." They used to say, they used to just say Krishna, Krishna. That means they will show that pot and say Krishna, Krishna. That means give that water pot to me. And in the reply also, he will not say, okay, take this pot, or he will reply like Krishna, Krishna. So like that, they constantly say the name of Krishna on whatever they want to ask, or someone has to reply, they used to always say like Krishna, Krishna. We see that. So as we were discussing this example also, right? When you are learning this driving, initially you are so much conscious, but later what happens when you become perfect in any activities like driving, or let's say in kitchen you are preparing this prasada, it becomes so automatic, right? Some people also say ki, while sleeping also, if you give me the steering of this car, I can actually drive it. So it becomes so automatic. So uh, you always actually sing some Krishna bhajan, or you can just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So what is the benefit? Basically, as we were discussing this, our consciousness becomes purified. So our consciousness is so dirty, right? That is the So what happens otherwise, actually, if you don't do this also, in Kali Yuga, what happens? If you don't remember or chant Krishna's name all the time, what happens is your mind become more dirty because of this Rajoguna and Tamoguna, entering. You always constantly, otherwise what happens, you see, if you are not chanting or remembering Krishna's name, you must be doing some conspiracy. You must be, blaspheming some other person. Or see, look, that day he did something like this to me. I will take revenge. I will do this and that to me. Oh, so much office politics is going against me. I will also reply according to that. So like that, so this is the prabhava of all the Rajoguna and Tamoguna which actually enters. So just to stop that, since our mind is not pure, so this kind of activities or thoughts will keep on entering us. So that is the reason why it is discussing you take that path where you remember or chant Krishna's name all the time. So that way your mind also become purified and you will not get disturbed. Your mind will not get disturbed also. So that is something you can always do. So as we were mentioning about this, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and when his associates, they were cleaning this Gundecha temple, they used to always talk in the language of Krishna Krishna only, right? If they want anything. So now this is the time where actually you can also do marjanam. So you can go to the temple. So I think here also today there is all the devotees will come and join and clean. They will do some seva. They will clean the temple. So you can always go to your nearby temples wherever you are located. You can go and do this marjanam seva. So where you can clean the temple. It is very auspicious and very important to clean our inner consciousness and to go back to actually purify ourselves and go back to Krishna Dham. Otherwise, as we were discussing in this shloka also, what happens? Lord is saying, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. So though you should not leave the fighting. So, in fact, we see in Mahabharata what happens. Arjuna actually he wanted to just quit fighting because he see no benefit out of it. So he wanted to stop fighting, but Lord is saying him, "Ki you fight, you do your duty. So whatever work you are doing, you do." So Lord is not saying you to stop everything. So what happens if you in Kali Yuga, if you tell everybody to stop everything and do only Krishna bhajan or Harinam, then people will not actually even listen to you. So you don't have to actually, you have to perform. Your Lord is saying you perform your duty, but you carry out this activity. Your complete consciousness should be on to me, dedicated to me. Your mind and should be fixed on me. And then what happens? You will attain my attain me without any doubt. So that is about today's shloka. So thank you very much. Anybody have any questions or anybody want to share something? So very important. Rath Yatra is here now. So do all kind of seva which is offered in the temple. If you are in Bangalore, Shishadipuram is there. Then you have Srivas Angar, where you can have so many services of cleaning the temple, then taking part in Rath Yatra, pulling the Rath. So as it says that if you pull the cart, then you will not come back to this material world again. So wherever you are, just as a ritual, we also see that in Jagannath Puri, right? In Puri Dham, where before the Rath Yatra begins, the king, he himself, he take the broomstick and he cleans in front of the Rath wherever it goes. So it's a big opportunity for everybody, for every devotee, where Lord Himself come to give visit to darshan to His devotees. So we should take the advantage of that. So anybody have any other questions or want to share something? So I think most part of India, everywhere, there is a Rath Yatra. So can go nearby place and take the opportunity to pull the Rath.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mata.
Prabhuji, you just mentioned that book name, right? That is not. Is that available online, or should we buy it from the ISKCON temples only?
Come back again, Mataji.
You mentioned about a book, right, for offering bhoga first time.
Yes, Mataji. Correct.
Something.
Yes. And that's a very thin book you can get anywhere. If you can find a matchless gift shop or in temple, always it is available. This book. It's a small book. So you can just take that. It talks about when you give bhoga, right? You have to also chant the mantra. So Namo Vishnu Padaya. So all these mantras and what are the etiquettes, it is mentioned in that book. So it's very small book. Hardly costs some 25 to 30 rupees book. You can get it from the temple or matchless gift shop anywhere nearby. There you can actually purchase this book. Also, online it is available. You can always order it through online. You can get it from anywhere. I think it is also available in Amazon.
Okay.
Or you can also contact to the temple. They can actually courier it to you. So in case you cannot find it, just let us know. We can actually. So this book is called as the first step in Krishna consciousness. It's a small book.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So it's also available online PDF also you get. It is always better because to purchase this small book and every time you actually offer a bhoga to Lord, that time you can actually chant those mantras and it talks about how you basically give the bhogas and all the kirtans. So thank you, Prabhujis and Matajis. If there is no other points to discuss, so we'll go to the temple and try to do as much as seva, the cleaning of the temple and then pulling the rath. So there are many. So even today, some programs are there about this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Gundicha Leela is there. So I think today and tomorrow, if you are there in the group, you can just see that there are links, Zoom links, which are shared. I think somewhere in the evening, today and tomorrow, the pastimes are there of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Gundicha temple. So you can just hear them. And then there is also Rath Yatra Katha. So all the importance and other things. There are classes. Please join in the Zoom link. In the groups, it is shared, all the Zoom links. You can join through that. So thank you, Mataji. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। भगवद गीता की जय।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam to everybody assembled.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, Dhanyavat.
Thank you,
Prabhuji,
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
To all devotees assembled here, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.